What if I told you your strategy was never the problem? You've backtested it, you've optimized the entries, tightened the stops, watched 100 hours of breakdown videos, and you still watched a green trade turn red because you moved your stop loss just this once. That's not a strategy problem. That's a psychology problem wearing a strategy costume. Here's the thing nobody tells you when you start trading. The market doesn't care about your plan. It only reveals your plan's weaknesses through you. Every bad exit, every doubled position after a loss, every trade you took because you were bored on a Tuesday afternoon. That's not the chart's fault. That's your brain doing exactly what it was built to do, which is protect you from uncertainty. Even when protecting you from uncertainty is the thing that's bleeding your account dry. I used to think discipline meant white-knuckling through every urge to break the rules. Turns out that's backwards. You can't out-willpower a nervous system that's wired for survival, not for probability. So what actually works? First, you have to accept that losing is not a signal you did something wrong. A loss inside your edge is just a loss. But most traders treat every loss like proof they're a fraud. And that belief is what drives the next 3 revenge trades. You're not trying to win every trade. You're trying to execute your process enough times that the math plays out. That's it. That's the whole game. And it's boring. And boring is exactly why it works. Think about a poker player who folds a strong hand because the last 3 hands went badly. The math on that hand didn't change, their nerves did. Trading works the same way. Your edge doesn't expire because you're on a losing streak, but your nervous system will absolutely argue that it has. And the second you listen to that argument, you're not trading a strategy anymore. You're trading a mood. Second, separate the outcome from the decision. A good decision can lose. A bad decision can win. If you keep grading yourself on whether the trade was green or red, you'll start making decisions to feel good instead of decisions that are actually correct. Third, and this is the one people skip, build a routine that removes the decision entirely in the moment you're most likely to break it. You already know your danger zone. Maybe it's the 10 minutes after a loss. Maybe it's late at night when the charts are quiet and your discipline is quieter. Whatever it is, decide now, while you're calm, exactly what you'll do when that moment hits. Close the platform, walk away. Write the trade down before you take it, not after. You're not relying on willpower in the heat of the moment. You already made the decision earlier, when your head was actually in charge. And here's where it gets weird. The traders who seem the most in control aren't actually suppressing their emotions. They've just built systems that don't require them to be calm to execute correctly. A process solid enough that it survives you on your worst day. I still catch myself wanting to move a stop loss sometimes. I still feel that itch to jump into a setup that isn't mine, because it's moving fast and I don't want to miss it. The difference now is I notice it happening instead of just doing it. That gap between noticing and acting, that's the whole skill. That's what separates someone who's been trading for 5 years from someone who's just been losing money for 5 years with extra steps. So here's what I actually want you to take from this. Journal every trade, not just the outcome, but the decision behind it. Set your exits before you enter, not while you're in the trade with your pulse climbing, and give yourself permission to be boring. Because boring is what consistent actually looks like from the outside. You didn't blow that account because you're bad at trading. You blew it because you were trying to feel certain in a game that runs on probability. Journal the decision. Set the exit early. Let the process be boring. You're not a gambler chasing a feeling anymore. You're a trader running a process.